I'll bet you're someone who wants to take good care of your bike. You want to ensure it lasts a long time, that its components last a long time, and for that, you need to maintain it well. Now, you may be a new cyclist who just wants a reminder every few hundred kilometers to lube your chain, or perhaps you're an experienced rider, maybe you ride more than one bike, or you swap components frequently, and you're looking for a solution that's a bit more convenient to use than advanced and complicated spreadsheets. Well, the app we are looking at today to help with all this is called ProBike Garage. I've been using it for over 2 years, and it's the easiest yet most flexible way of keeping track of your bicycle maintenance. Now, before we dive into the app, I want to make a few things clear. First, the app is free on Android, but it costs $3 on iOS. Next, the app stores your data online. So if you get a new phone, your service records will transfer over, but there's currently no way to export this data. And finally, the app needs your ride data. It needs to know when you went cycling, how long your ride was, heck, what bike you used. And it gets this data from Strava. Now, for those of you who don't know what Strava is, you can think of it as a fitness social network where you can record all your workouts. Now, there are many other apps and websites that do cool stuff with your Strava data. So if you're not already on Strava, you should strongly consider signing up. But if you don't want to be on Strava for whatever reason, this app won't work. Most other maintenance apps won't work either. With that out of the way, let me show you how to use it. First, if your bike is not listed in Strava, go to the gear section and add it. Specify the bike type, model, weight, etc. and save. Now, when you finish a ride, if you have more than one bike, make sure the activity references the correct bike. If not, pick the right bike and update your activity. Install ProBike Garage connected with Strava. Select your bike and then add components to it. You could add every conceivable component to this list, but that's overkill as the maintenance of many of these components would be taken care of when you get your entire cycle serviced. So what I like to do here is add components that I'm going to service myself and components that I'd like to keep a track of, especially components that I've replaced. This is so that I have a record of when the replacement was made and for how long those components have been used, because the mileage on the components won't match the mileage on the bike. Let's add an 11-speed chain. I'll say I'm installing it today, and of course, it's currently on the bike. So this chain has 2000 kilometers predefined as a max life service interval, and you can edit this. By the way, you should watch my video on waxing if you want your chain to last a lot longer. So we're going to add another service interval here for waxing the chain, say every 300 kilometers. Besides distance, you can also add intervals based on moving time, elapsed time, and number of rides. Let's take a look at one of my real bikes. You can see a bunch of components I've added for tracking, and if I go into my chain here, you can see at a glance how much I've used the chain, when I last waxed it, and when the next wax is due. The detailed service record is really something. Shows you each time I performed this service and the interval between services. Now, when you finish a ride and a component is close to its service interval, you'll get a notification saying it needs attention. So you don't need to explicitly check the app after each ride. You can see that I'm 30 hours over the service interval for my bottom bracket. After I service it, all I need to do is click Add Service, leave today selected, and I'm done. Now, what if you forgot to record a service and went on a few rides after that? All you need to do is specify the correct date, and these rides will now correctly count towards your next service interval. Now, here's a bit of an advanced use case. Say you use the same bike both indoors on the trainer and outdoors, and you swap your wheel and cassette for each use case. By using the indoor and outdoor tags for each set of components, you can get the mileage on them accurately tracked. This just goes to show how versatile this app is. Now, if you're looking for alternatives to ProBike Garage, I've heard really good things about mainTrack, but at least for now, it's iOS only. There's also Hubtiger, which is a rather flashy app, but it works well for basic use cases. These apps sync your ride data from Strava, and they work in pretty much the same way. Now, on the subject of maintenance, go watch my video on waxing to increase the lifespan and efficiency of your chain. And if I've missed an app you use for maintenance, let me know in the comments.